having a conversation with a good close friend. Mentioned maybe shifting his channel over to maybe going back to a comedic style content. Let me know too if it's okay if I go ahead and talk about it, or are we going to rename it? My opinion is we rename it. And not only that, but you also saddle it with the other Diego content. That's some of my favorite shit. In regards to comedy, over the last 2 years, I have been taking in the podcast for Kill Tony. For those who don't know, it's a podcast dedicated to Tony Hinchcliffe and his show that he does, where he brings on, it's like a open mic where he gives a minute to people that he pulls randomly their names after they sign up. And after they do their minute, which they give their comedic bit, they talk to them in like an open forum, get into the nuts and bolts of what their process was, how to improve on their acts. But within that podcast, which I didn't watch for the longest time, and I can explain that in another video at another time. One of his guests, like, he has a panel of other comedians. One particular guest was Josh Adam Meyers. Through Josh Adam Meyers, I found out about the podcast that Josh was doing, which is called The 500, where he is taking the top 500 albums of all time based on Rolling Stone's findings. In this particular case, it's the 2012 edition, so kind of the old rendition, which it's been updated 2 times since the podcast began. And but within it, he said, "Hey, tell your friend about it. Tell your friends, get involved, do the thing, enjoy." And that, along with what had Josh started in the first place, which was he had a friend who was very much into music with him, and that friend recently passed away. And as a result, the inception of the podcast was dedicated to him. And that made me think of, my best school age friend. And I told him about it, still in touch. And he's following along with it as well. The whole process, the whole thing going on is somewhat close to both of us, because my friend's older brother is going to be passing away soon. He was diagnosed with the stage 4 cancer 2 years ago, and still with us. But just yesterday, my friend told me that he was heading up to his brother's town to be there because his health had taken a turn. So Mike, his older brother, was one of the ones that always shared with us different genres, different musicians, different artists that went above and beyond the top 40 or what was popular. And in a way, that and Tim's other brother, who's not exactly the virtue of health as we're all getting older. I mean, his brothers are, I think, at least between 7 or 8 years older than us. So not spring chickens by any shape of the imagination, but also not the oldest either that they could possibly be. So we're going through this list and connecting in such a way. Similar to conversation we were having, Savage, the brothers in music simpatico. But this is like that, but on steroids, because this list has us listening to whole albums that we wouldn't normally listen to. I mean, in the case of my friend, he would have no other reason at all to listen to Cyndi Lauper. But here we are. It's good stuff. Really is. And it's given us a connection or a point of reference to continue our conversations when, we don't live anywhere close to each other. It's over a day's, maybe 2 days driving. We live apart. So you're not always sure that you can begin a conversation or where to even start. We're past that. It gives us a ping of reference as opposed to randomly checking in or randomly call. But check it out if you have the time or if you're at all interested. It's the Josh Adam Meyers 500 podcast. Let me know if you're doing it, and hit me up in the comments and let me know where you're at with it, and I'm happy to conversate. All right, y'all. Take care.